Good morning or a very good afternoon to you. My name is Mark de Vries and I would like to welcome you at this Lan Handling webinar, where today as a special guest we have Dieter Müssner from Schubert Packaging. Good morning, Dieter.
Good morning or good afternoon, Mark. It is a pleasure for us and me personally to be here at Lan Handling at your customer event.
Thank you, Dieter. The pleasure is all ours. So what would be the subject of today where you are going to tell us?
We will talk about multipacks and Mixpacks for the wet pet care and for the food industries. More or less everything which comes out of a retort, which is for food, for pet food, dry and wet, and also for prepared food or prepared meals. And the subject is how to deal with the multipack and mixpack for these products.
Very interesting, because that's an ever-increasing demand that we see from our customer, multi-packs, multi-flavors, and that's not always easy. So I'm very interested in your solution.
Yeah. Let's take it on from there. We prepared a little agenda. So we put the following things on the agenda. A short introduction of Schubert, our packaging technology, and then we go case by case really on the industry needs. What are the products? What are the mixpacks and multipack solutions for pouches, for wet pet care tubs, for cans, for jars?
Perfect, because these are the high shelf life products that has to go to sterilization retorts, and this is where we meet each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's take it from there. So a first short introduction about Schubert Group and what are the requirements about the industries. So Schubert, we build packaging machines. We are a privately owned company. Since more than 50 years, we are active in the market. We are headquartered in Germany, in Kreisheim, but we are globally active. And we produce around 130 packaging lines a year. So every second workday, one in, work out. And in the group, we have also a consultancy service, which is doing company independent, meaning supplier independent consultancy towards sustainability, for example. Also, we have a turnkey division. And it is important to know, although we are privately owned and headquartered in Germany, we are active throughout the world. So we will build new premises in our headquarters, but also build new premises in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we move a part of our production. And that's what is named with the investment program. But the basic core is packaging machinery. So let's have a look how we built this. We have a modular concept. So what you see here is everything is made towards the need of the customer, the need of the product, but all out of these 9 modular components. So that's, let's say, our toolbox.
I think you were one of the first to really integrate this modular concept in all its detail, and have been very successful with that.
And our founder, Gerhard Schubert, he went from a visit at the automotive industry and had, as he returned, he said, we have to have a modular concept to fulfill the requirements of our customers with our machinery. So that's the static components. Let's look at it in a little bit of an animation. What do? We build the machine based on a machine frame. So the machine frame is the bed and the frame. We connect the operating system. We have our own PLC. And when we do this, then we integrate the operator guidance and we integrate the robots. This means we have a 2X robot, a 3X robot, a 5X robot for the packaging tasks.
Which are individual modules again?
Yes, yes. And when we have integrated the robots, then we embed also our transportation system, which is after the magazine where we have the blanks for the packages, we integrate our so-called transmodule, and the transmodule is our induction-based transportation system, can also operate with a vacuum transporter, but that is the bed. This is the transportation system who carries the products and the packages. And we have our own vision control system, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional scanners, and at the end we apply the tools. By meaning of changing tools and format parts, we change from one format, from one package, from one product to another.
So those are the really customer specific parts. And all the other ones that you mentioned before are more or less coming out of your module portfolio.
Absolutely. So we are building packaging machines similar to the human being. This means we have our vision control system, our eyes. We use tools as human beings, and we top-load the products into a carton, into a case, into our package. So that is the approach how we do this, and we build our robot controls, also our robots by ourselves, and also our control system, the electronic components we build in-house independently.
So Dieter, I hear you mention top-load. So can you tell us a little bit about the advantages of a top-load system?
Yes, we erect the carton or the case from a flat blank. So this means no matter how big or how small the product is or how big the quantity is, 12 count, 15 count, 18 count, we work from a base which is a flat bank, which is also very cheap to order and get the package. And then we erect the carton in a tray erector, and then we put the product top load in. So if we change format-wise from a smaller carton to a bigger carton or from other count sizes, flexibility, we are very easy in upgrading and changing the formats to the customer needs and the package needs. So the basic answer is flexibility is key and the driver.
Okay, and is the package also more compact? Does it take less space if you compare it, for example, with side load?
That's one aspect. And secondly, if you talk about, for example, shelf-ready packaging, when we operate wraparound cartons, when we operate tray and hood cartons, the customer is flexible towards the needs of the end markets. If he needs to have a shelf-ready case for, to be opened and for the market number one, and he needs to have a fixed carton, for example, with a wraparound or a tray hooden for another market, he's flexible to do this.
Excellent,
simply because we put the products top load in, and either we close the lid, which is hanging, or we put a lid as a separate tray and hood, the hood over the filled case.
Yeah, I understand. Interesting. Very good.
Let's get on.
Yeah, sure.
After the short introduction, we have the counterflow principle applied, which means we have the working from the package from right to left, also starting from the right side here to the left, and we have the flow of the product from left to right. So this gives us a very compressed layout, and the flexibility with Mixpacks, with Multipacks, also upgrades towards the future, meaning future formats which are not there today, but maybe the market demands of tomorrow.
Product life cycles are getting shorter, so you have to have that.
Absolutely, and Mark, you point right in the correct direction. If we look at the demands of our customers, what are they? They have an increased number of flavors, of SKUs, so the variety gets bigger. The lot sizes get smaller, they have more changeovers, They need to adapt to volatile markets, and the pandemic is just an example for that. Change from stationary retail to e-commerce is another driver. And we have, of course, an increased pressure on automation. We have to have those machines 24/7 running, flexible towards needs.
Shortage of labor in some areas and regions.
Absolutely. And also when we talk about the working environments, we have humidity in the factory, so they need to be robust. And as we see on the right side, I took this example, this picture from your website. This is exactly what you have given us the task to talk about this Mixpack.
I see it now. These are all our mutual customers.
Yes,
nice.
And that was what we have compiled for this session, to look after these pet care, wet and dry products, but also about ready meals, about food meals, everything which comes out of the retort, let's take it like that, how to combine Mixpack and Multipacks for these products.
Very nice, Dieter. I like it that you took these products.
You know, that's a very good, it gives us a very good scenario for your workshop and the task to work something out on that.
Absolutely.
So, let's talk about some case studies, to show some practical things. First one, we talk about pet food pouches. Second one would be variety for wet pet food tubs. But let's take the pouch. Here, this is an example of a complete turnkey solution, but I want to draw the attention to the mix center for pouches and the pouch packer into cases. If we look at the left, this would be your area, Lan Handling, doing the unloading, etc. Yeah, very good. And then we wind here up with 4 different flavors of pouches coming into a mix center. So we have flavor A, B, C, D, which are then combined on belts in the direction which they need to. If we have a mix pack on A, B, C, D, or if we have a mix pack on A, B, or C, D, or just A. But the arrangement is twofold. We do the mix pack arrangement in the mix center for pouches, and then the given mix pack arrangement we pack into 10 different cartons, and that is just explaining the flexibility needs because the customer has more than one market to serve in the combination.
So when you do the math, you have 4 different flavors, then you have lots of different combinations, and then you have the sizes 2-pack, 4-pack, 6-pack, 8-pack, 10-pack. So if you, my math is some time ago, but if you make the calculation, there's a huge number of varieties.
There's a huge number of varieties, but the customer chooses then the program combination which we want to have. Let's take the 4 flavor pouch arrangement as a starter, and then would be everything divided by 4. So you would have a 12 count, a 16 count, 20 count, 24 count, something like that. And if the bigger portions come to these multi-variety packs, then they can be adapted to the presentation needed for retail, for e-commerce, etc.
I understand.
Yeah. So this is a visualization. So on the left we have the product, the typical pet food pouch as we see it. We pick it from the infeed, we arrange the grouping pattern on the belts, and then we go into a grouping chain. This means we erect the formation and then top load the products into the designated carton or case. And as you see on below, we have trays and we have tray and hood cases. So this is just a visualization of the examples.
And this is, I see, a gusseted pouch, a stand-up pouch.
Yes.
You do all kinds of pouches,
yes,
I suppose?
Yes, even there are, for certain markets or for certain presentations flavor, they have a different kind of pouch formats, which then are adapted. The gripper tool picks the pouch from the top, and the grouping chain is capable of having different pouch formats. And of course, then we have it grouped, then we pick it and put it into the designated case, which is also then adapted to the different pouch formats.
So maximum flexibility.
Absolutely, Mark, as required.
Yes.
So I have just pulled, since we will also hand out the presentation for the webinar, and thanks for the chance to do so, I just put the basic figures together for flavor infeed, up to 10 different carton formats and a multi-variety pack and mix pack requirement. So let's look at this in a small motion picture. Yeah? If we get the video, this is again underlining the mix center. This is running at 500 pouches a minute, yes, but here you see the visualization on the left side, mix center for pouches, on the right side the pouch packer into cases into these 10 different carton formats.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do that? As explained before, here we have the 4 flavor infeed, which we do then the mix pack pattern arrangement on the belt. This means via a picker line, we pick those products, the scanner scans those flavors and then indicates flavor A, B, C, D. And following the program, we have here a 4 flavor mix pack. So A, B, C is the arrangement. And here we see from the flat presented pouch, we go into a grouping chain, we erect it, and then we pack it from the top and top load it into the erected carton. And with this kind of technology, we are flexible towards the needs of the customer today, but also for future demands.
Understand.
And it's also a very stable process because we have the grouping, we pick it, we have the arrangement, and then we put the grouping arrangement 8 count, 12 count, 60 count into the designated case, which can be a wraparound case, which can be a tray and hood case.
With the different flavors, you always have this challenging of balancing of flows.
You are absolutely right. So that is also a challenge when you look at the unloading and the feeding process, that we have those synchronization. Of course, we take over leftover pouches, which are then recollected and inserted into the process. So no pouch is lost. But we have to make sure that from the infeed, if we have 4 flavors running, that we have the required volume, 500 pouches in total, yeah? Each lane that it is fed, that we have the Mixpack arrangement and not the B or the C flavor would be missing. Yeah. So that was the first example about pouches. And pouches are considered very young, dynamic, yeah, very trendy in this case, and it is a growing segment. And the other growing segment is the wet pet food tub. Yes. In both ways, either as a plastic tub, also to be used with rPET, or as an aluminium tub with a lid on it. So let's look at this example where we have 2 different tub formats, a single tub and a split tub, into total 6 different formats. So we pack always 6 of one row, either in a single flavor, or we have 6 of flavor A and 6 of flavor B into a carton, which is a 12 count carton, and 2 12 count cartons we put into a case, which then form up to a 24 count case.
Understand.
How does that work? So the Mixpack arrangement is here. We have a machine who again works with a grouping chain. We have a 4-lane infeed, so the left side of the machine can be operated independently on the right side of the machine. So we have 2 independent infeeds if we talk about single flavor. When we talk about 2 flavor, of course, then the left side feeds flavor A, right side feeds flavor B.
Okay, so the layout of this machine is also, not the machine itself is flexible, but the layout itself has also been made flexible.
Absolutely, because it can be that factories are moving, are also in a way that future demands, maybe new fillers come in, new flavors come in, so the connectivity also to the upstream equipment could be different in the future. And the machine, that was a customer requirement to have the operating sides for single flavor independently. If the left feed is feeding and the right feed would not be feeding, that the machine can still run. That was coming back to the question which you had earlier, how to manage when you have different infeeds, yeah, that you always get supplied the product.
And talking about operation, it's quite a big setup. How many operators do you typically have?
So in this case, the customer would work with 2 operators, yeah, but we have everything on one operating side. And we have to feed cartons, we have to feed those plastic trays which carry the wet tubs, and depending if it is only the final case or if it is the small carton, we have to feed cartons, cases and plastic inlays.
Because they have limited amount of buffer time, so you always have somebody to fill those.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and look at the challenge again, or the task which is given how to do multi-variety packs. Here you see in a colored sketch we have the the blue flavor A and the orange flavor B. So how we gonna do? We have those 2 infeeds, and then we do on one side of the machine, we put those orange 6 count flavor B, and on the other side of the machine we put the black 6 count into our transmodule. We carry them to the next station, and there we make the arrangement of 6 count flavor 1 and 6 count flavor 2 into a 12 count case, put that into the carton, close the carton, and then take those 2 flavor cartons into a 24 count case. And we do this by those induction-based transportation system, which is called the transmodule. So what is a transmodule? Induction-based system, this means by induction is the power supply, and other than a grouping chain or a chain itself, this system can never stop because you have the electric operated carts and they have a turning station. So even if one cart would not supply and would go red and do no any move, you just take it out. The remaining cards still running, and then you take another card in, program it, and then it runs. So that's a continuous.
So it's magical to see those induction-based.
But it is a development which we have made in order to be very compressed, also not having long chains, and the filling route from A to B, and then we turn the transmodule and then return it to the starting point. So that is, let's say, a very good solution to provide also a compressed layout.
And of course you can individually control the position, the acceleration, the speeds, which is a huge advantage.
And on the product we can also put on the transmodule plates which carry the product, all the packages, and they are then also exchangeable tools doing small cartons, medium-sized cartons, big-sized cartons, simply by changing the tools. So let's look how this is working in a practical environment. So we have left side infeed flavor number A, right side infeed flavor number B. We go into a grouping chain, and then as you see on the right side, we fill flavor B into the transmodules, and from the left side we fill the flavor A into the transmodules, and then we take those two flavors to the next station. In the background, we erect the cartons from the flat bank. We put the plastic trays in. And then in the next station, we do this mix pack, meaning 6 count wet tubs flavor A and 6 count flavor B.
No, but the advantage is that from the beginning, you're 100% guaranteed that there's always a complete pack.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it moves towards the next station, and right now you see the transmodule arriving with flavor A, doing the mix pack to flavor B. So now we have 2 times of a combination of 2 times 6 flavor A and 2 times 6 flavor B in an individual pack, and then we put it into a carton, and from the carton into a case, and off we go.
Very nice.
Again, coming back to your picture from the Lan Handling website, looking at jars, looking at cans, looking at cups, and how to do multi-formats of jars and bottles.
And this is more human food related.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's look at jars. Here we have an example of a machine that has 20 different jar formats. Big jars, small jars, jars in a 6 count, in a 4 count, whatever that is. Let's take jars as an example, could also be adapted to cans. And the requirement is here to have different flavors to be combined in one pack. So the typical mix pack. So what do we do here? Here we have 2 principal ways of working. This machine is working from a single lane infeed. So underneath the scanner detects the products. They are differentiated by color, by shape, by graphics. Orange is orange, blueberry is blue. So, and then the scanner detects it and gives the picker the information how to pick which jar and to do the grouping arrangement. It can also be operated when we have several infeeds. This means orange, flavor 1, infeed number 1, blueberry, infeed number 2, that we work from different infeeds.
Okay, and does that mean that you can have, let's say, you are live producing one flavor, and you have another flavor coming from a storage area, and that you combine those two to make the mix? Because sometimes you cannot produce everything at the same time.
And that's exactly one of the customer requirements, to dislocate production from the packaging process. Because as you say profoundly well, if you are connected to the production process, and for example you have something in the filler, and you are directly connected, then you have no infeed of the product. So a lot of customers now organize their production process, their filling process, dislocated from the packaging process to have offline the quantity available for packing the product, especially the mix packs, and making sure that you have efficient production via going in an intermediate storage, for example.
And we even know customers that require this because of their quality process to put them in quarantine for some time.
You are absolutely right. And since this is a need also for food safety, we can make advantage of it because you have to store it or quarantine it anyhow. Then you have everything there for the offline mix process, depending to the market need. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would this look like? This is just a visualization. We would have 6-count single flavor, or we would have 2 times 3-count dual flavor, or we would have 3 times 2-count 3 flavors. So the arrangement can be programmed via the recognition of the different products and the product arrangement.
Sure.
So let's look how this would work in a practical sense. Here we have a single lane infeed as the machine is designed, but to bear in mind, then the distinction would be by camera, scanner recognition, flavor A, B, C. So here we have on the left, from right to left, the product infeed, and from left to right you see the mix pack arrangement, in this case 6-count, to be pre-organized and pre-grouped on these conveyors or on these transmodules. And by going underneath the scanner always detects, you see it here very good, detects this is flavor number 1, orange, this is flavor 2, blueberry, etc. And then the scanner integrates and tells the picker arm what to place and to make the mix pack arrangement complete. And then we have, of course, the first robot is the most, let's say, the most used one, and the last robots always look that there are no gaps.
The advantage of the counterflow.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here we have then the product arrangement, 6-count of single flavor or multi-flavor, and then we have again putting the product into the pre-erected wraparound carton, so top load, here in a tray, and then we have the chance to do different packages because it can be a 6-count or 8-count or 10-count jar, always depending how much is the infeed and how much of a multi-variety pack or how many flavors the customer wants to have in that package.
I understand.
So coming to some sort of conclusions, but clear, and you've seen it and we see it also every day in the industry and in our retail and consumer behavior. Mix packs, multi-packs for food and pet food products and packages, they are industry and they are customer requirements. There's no way.
Increasing in demand.
Absolutely. Market trends and customers' demand constantly increase, and they increase, of course, and underline the importance of mix packs and multi-packs. Yeah. We have to have flexible technologies. They are required to fulfill these customer demands, these market demands today, and of course the new ones and the changed ones tomorrow. Agile and scalable packaging machinery solutions will be key to meet this product, this market and customer expectations today and in the future. Once again, I have to thank you very much for the invitation. It was more than a pleasure to be here at Lan Handling at your customer workshop. Very interesting technology which you have. And thanks for having the chance that we could share a little bit about the knowledge for multi-packs and mix packs.
Well, thank you, Dieter. I mean, it was a very interesting story, a lot of information. And if, like me, you find this as interesting as well, then please contact us at Lan Handling Technologies or directly to Dieter at Schubert Packaging. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a very nice remainder of the day.